Hello, I'm Alan Moore, and I'm here to tell you about my new book, just out in paperback very shortly, which is The Great Wen. This is the first of 5 books in the Long London series, which is a excavation of some of the more marginal and little known points of London's history that is all stirred up into a very, very Baroque fantasy. And there's been a lot of books that have actually very much played into the writing of the Great Wen. I mean, one of them is Pariah Genius by my very good friend Ian Sinclair. For my money, one of the best writers in the English language. And in Pariah Genius, he's following the story of John Deakin, who was the photographer that Francis Bacon actually got all of those images from. And not a very likeable man, but a very, very interesting man. And Ian has done this wonderful story about John Deakin's. He's already dead when the book opens, and the rest of the book is the thoughts going through the mind of this extraordinary dying man. Other books that have played into the Great Wen would include Flann O'Brien, The Third Policeman, probably one of my favourite novels ever. The main thing about Flann O'Brien's The Third Policeman is it's very, very strange and quite frightening in places, but it's very, very funny. And that was something that I was trying to keep in mind while writing my book, that there's no reason why everything has to be straight-faced. There's no problem with having a laugh once in a while. And the third book that certainly was a huge inspiration was Brian Catling's The Vor. This is the first book of a trilogy, but having read this, I realised that Brian had really raised the bar for fantasy writing, because fantasy, as I see it, really shouldn't be about things that you already know about. I mean, I've got a lot of room for magicians and dragons and all the rest of the fantasy paraphernalia, but I would prefer a fantasy that gives you things that you've never even imagined before. And certainly in the V O Trilogy, Brian does that in spades. So while I was writing my books, I was thinking of all of these authors and trying to make sure that my book was at least in the same ballpark as these greats.